Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us on our webinar today, How to Grow Your Business with an Enhanced Facebook Page. My name is John Ruggi, and I'll be walking you through the webinar today. I'm one of our co-founders and our CMO at Causley, and joining me in a little bit will be Matt Sharp. He's another one of our co-founders as well as our president, and he'll be sharing a brief overview of how Causley helps businesses generate referrals by giving back. So be sure to stick around for that at the end. Just a quick overview of what we'll cover today. First, I'm going to share some stats on why Facebook is so important for your business today. And after we walk through that, I'm going to share 11 tips on how to make even more of your business's Facebook page. So if you'd like to share what you've learned today, a couple of things you can do. You can mention the hashtag CausleyFB on Twitter or Instagram. Or if you'd like to call us out directly, you can do so at Causley HQ. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to email me directly. Here's my email address right here on the screen. I'm happy to help you out with whatever is on your mind about Facebook. All right, let's get right into it. First, like I said, we'll talk about some stats on why Facebook is really just as important as your website today. And one of the reasons that's the case is today, 1 in 5 page views on the internet in the United States occurs on Facebook. So if people are discovering your business, it's almost just as likely that they'll do so on Facebook as they will on your website. That's especially true if people are finding about your business from their friends and on social media. So if they're discovering your business on Facebook, they're going to create a first impression about your business based solely on what they see on your business's Facebook page. So if you do a great job of promoting yourself and describing what you do, that's going to create a great first impression for people. If you don't do such a great job, that's going to create a negative first impression and really turn people away. So here are a couple examples to illustrate that point. The page on the right is actually a customer of ours. It's an Orange Theory Fitness in Jacksonville, and they've done a great job of providing an engaging cover photo, a nice solid logo. They've got reviews, they've got recent content, and it creates a great first impression for someone who's learning about their business for the first time. On the left is a page that we made up. We didn't want to call anyone out. He didn't have a great Facebook page. So we made up this page. It's kind of representative of other pages we've seen. It's got a kind of an empty-looking facility, empty-looking business, kind of a strange-looking guy for their profile photo. You know, the last post was from a few months ago. There's not a whole lot of information about the page, no reviews. It's not really a great first impression, and if I was looking for a place to work out or if this was a different type of business, I might be kind of turned away. Another thing to keep in mind is that just the sheer number of people who use Facebook. So in the world, there are actually 1.5 billion people using Facebook. That's about 1 out of every 6 people. And if you look at all the other major social networks, WhatsApp, Twitter, and Instagram, and combine those numbers, Facebook still exceeds that combined number by far. And just as important as the number of people using the network is the amount of time they spend on the network. And Facebook still trumps all the other social networks as well, with the average American spending more than 40 minutes a day on Facebook. That's more than Snapchat, that's more than Twitter, that's more than Instagram, Tumblr, and all the others. Another thing to keep in mind is that the most common age demographic for a Facebook user today is people between age 25 and 34. That's older than it used to be. That's because more people's parents and grandparents are using Facebook now, sharing photos of their kids and their families. So that's shifted from college students from maybe 10 years ago to now millennials 25 to 34. Since this is a prime audience for many businesses to target, it means that Facebook is a great place to engage with people. And here's one of my favorite charts. We hear a lot that people aren't using Facebook so much anymore. Some of these other platforms, maybe like Snapchat or Instagram, are taking over, especially with millennials. But if you look at the data, that is simply not the case. So there are two things that this graph is showing us. One is the the percentage of people between 18 and 34 who use different social networks. That's what you see along the bottom axis there. And if you look at Facebook, it's way over there to the right. Almost 100% of people between 18 and 34 use Facebook. If you look at Instagram, it's around 65%. Snapchat's around 40%. Other networks have maybe a little bit more or less, but Facebook is definitely an outlier in terms of the number of millennials using Facebook. And just as important is the number of minutes per month that people spend on these social networks. And Facebook is an outlier again. People between 18 and 34 spend, on average, over 1,000 minutes a month on Facebook. If you look at Snapchat and Instagram, the two next best social networks, they lag far behind at somewhere around maybe 300 and 350 minutes per month. Another point to keep in mind is that 49% of consumers like a Facebook page to support the brand. So if you've got people liking your page, that's a great sign that they're supporting who you are and what you're doing. And another point that is kind of a myth that I want to dispel is that Facebook likes still matter. It used to be the case a few years ago that if you had, let's say, 1,000 Facebook likes and you published a post on your page, that used to mean that about 1,000 people would see your post, which was great. More likes means more people engaging with your content. Now, with so many more people using Facebook and so many pages and so many more posts, Facebook can't show every post to every person all the time. Today, if you have 1,000 followers, that post might be seen by, let's say, about 10% of your audience, or maybe about 100. So far less than was the case a few years ago. So likes don't matter so much in terms of getting more reach on Facebook, although it certainly helps. What they do make a difference in is social context. So when brands post stories on Facebook, Facebook adds these kind of social hints. So here's a couple from my own newsfeed. There's a restaurant in town called Malone's, and you can see that James and 8 of my other friends already like Malone's. So if I've never been to Malone's and I'm thinking about going there, I can already see that 9 of my friends like Malone's. That's a great signal for me to maybe check that business out. This other one is an advertisement from a company making headphones, and one of my friends already likes that company. So that's a great sign for me. If I've never tried these headphones before, I want to learn about them. I know that at least one of my friends likes this brand, and maybe I can even ask him how he likes them or if he's tried them before. So the more people who like your page, the more likely it will be that people see friends who like your page when they're engaging with your content. Another piece that is really important to understand in terms of recent changes in Facebook is the cost of advertising on Facebook. Now, we do a lot of advertising on Facebook ourselves, so we pay very close attention to this. And over the years, it's actually gotten increasingly expensive to advertise on Facebook. So a few years ago, you could run some ads on Facebook, and you could do so for a very inexpensive cost relative to other mediums. But you can see these year-over-year ad prices that we've experienced. And it's recently gotten very, very expensive to advertise on Facebook. You can do it if you know exactly what you're doing and can be highly targeted and create great ad creative and copy. But unless you have a lot of time to invest in doing that well, Facebook can be a great way to throw away money on advertising and not get great results. The reason I'm mentioning that is it's all that more important that you do a great job of creating organic content and engaging your existing audience so you don't have to advertise. Okay, with that in mind, I told you I was going to share 11 things you can do to get more from your Facebook page. So let's dive right into these now. The first of these is very basic, but it's very crucial. It's making sure that your Facebook page is set up correctly. And what I mean by that is you're choosing the right category for your page, the right category for your business, and then making sure you're providing all the relevant information about your page. You would be surprised how many businesses do not get this basic setup piece right. It's so crucial because there's more and more ways that people are finding about businesses on Facebook today. Now I can go into Facebook and I can search for sushi places my friends like in New York City. And if my business is not listed as a sushi place, it will not show up in those search results. Similarly, if I'm looking for related content, if Facebook doesn't know how to categorize my business, it won't know what related posts to show me. So again, it's very basic. Just if you set up your page a few years ago, it's probably worth going back and making sure that all your settings are correct. Secondly is also Number two is another kind of basic 101 tip, but I want to mention it anyway, just because we see this done poorly too often at the time. It's creating the right profile and cover images for your page. I've got the dimensions listed here on the screen if you want to jot those down. But another couple things I'll mention is for your profile image, it's really important to create something that can be recognized at a very small size. So this profile image, as you probably know, is used next to every post that you publish on Facebook. It's of course used on your page itself. Anytime that you comment on another post, it shows up as well. So if you've got something that is very busy, that's hard to recognize when it's shown at a small scale, that profile photo won't be very effective. So make sure you use something that's clean. Even if it's a modified version of your logo, you want something that really stands out and that's very recognizable. For the cover photo, the story is a little bit different. This is really only shown when people are viewing your page itself. So this is an opportunity to show people what your business is about. This is a restaurant here in town, and they've done a great job with photography, helping me understand kind of the atmosphere and what they're offering. Make sure you invest some time in getting some good photography here for your business as well. It's really all people have to go on to understand what your business is about and who it's for. So if you do this right, it's a great way to get people in the door. If you do it wrong, you're going to turn people away. Another piece that's often overlooked is getting your customers to check in on Facebook. If you've never checked in yourself, you've probably seen a check-in on your news feed. It looks roughly like this. This is a version of a desktop post. It looks a little bit different on your phone. But the great thing about check-ins is that they are seen by about 200 of your friends. So if I'm at, this is an example from a gym, but if I'm at a gym and I check in, I'm telling about 200 of my friends where I'm spending my time working out. So if you want to generate friend-to-friend referrals on Facebook, getting your customers to check in is one of the single best ways you can do that. And at the end of our webinar, when Matt talks about Causley, he's going to give you some more reasons why this is so important and help you understand the ways we work with businesses to generate even more Facebook check-ins. Number 4 is the call to action button. And you've probably seen this on pages you visited in the past. It's a button that goes right above your cover photo at the top of your page. And there's different options you can choose from based on what's most important to your business. The example here is sign up, but you can use things like call us now, book an appointment, contact us. Send a message is great too. If you've got a large following and you know that people are engaging with you on Facebook, they can send you a message directly through Facebook. It's just very simple, but it's a way for someone to connect with you directly instead of having to go to your website to find out, a contact form or look for a booking form. You can provide that call to action right there on your page. This shows up both on desktop and on mobile. Number 5 is to add others to your team to help you manage the page. If you're a small business owner, you're probably very busy and you probably don't have as much time to manage your page as you'd like. Chances are you've got some other folks on your staff who can help out. And Facebook makes this easy for you because you don't have to add everyone as an administrator of your page. There's different levels of permissions you can provide. So if you want someone just to respond to comments and respond to messages, you can add them as a moderator. They won't be able to post new content on your page. They're not going to delete your page or do anything crazy like that, but they can engage with people who are interested in your business. If you want to give someone more access and help them, let them do all the heavy lifting, you can add them as an admin and offload even more responsibility to them. There are other responsibilities in here as well that you can play around with, but just know that you don't have to do all the work on your Facebook page yourself. Facebook provides different levels of permission to make you comfortable giving access to other people on your team. Number 6 is notifications. And this is especially important if you want to respond to customers quickly when they have questions about your business. So one of the things I've highlighted is this, what Facebook calls the very responsive to messages badge. You may have seen this on pages, or maybe you've seen it on your own page. When you respond to messages frequently enough and within a short enough time span, Facebook adds this very responsive to messages kind of badge to your page. And it's a nice signal to someone if they're looking at your business's page. They know that if they tap that, they're going to get a response within just a few minutes. So it's a great way to show that you're responsive, that that you care about what people have to ask. And if you don't have this on, it'll be turned off, and people can still send you a message, but you won't get this badge that kind of encourages people to ask a question directly on Facebook. But the thing is, you won't respond to those messages quickly unless you know you're getting messages. So to do that, you can go to the notifications setting on your Facebook page and turn those notifications on to email or send you text messages when people ask a message. So if you've got these off, you might be getting messages and not even realizing it until you've gone back to the page and you'll see that message notification. If you leave them on, if you turn them on, then you'll get texts or emails on your phone or on your email client to let you know when people are asking questions. So I would encourage every small business owner to take advantage of this. Number 7 is to get your business on Instagram. Now you might be wondering why I'm talking about Instagram on a Facebook webinar, but there's a couple things to keep in mind here. One, Instagram is growing about 15% per year, and I'd be willing to bet that a large portion of your own customers are already on Instagram. If you are not on Instagram yourself, it's a great way to kind of complement what you're doing on Facebook. The content you post on Facebook is going to be more informative, more suited towards written content, more kind of long-lived content, if you will. Instagram is more, obviously more photocentric, and it's great for kind of showing the kind of inspirational or aspirational aspects of your business, especially if you want to highlight the people or the products or some events that you're doing, stuff that's a little bit more timely. So, and because Facebook owns Instagram, they bought Instagram a couple years ago, they make it very easy to integrate those two accounts together. You can link your Facebook page to your business's Facebook page, share content from Instagram right on Facebook, and it's a great way to use your Instagram content to make your Facebook presence a little bit more engaging. Number 8 is video. This is a big deal. Facebook is trying to compete with YouTube and even Snapchat and some other platforms like Vine with their live video to really make it a destination for video itself. And when you post video, Facebook is now favoring video posts over just photo posts. So for two similar posts, Facebook will actually show your video post to more people than it will a photo post, about 135% more. We've seen this ourselves. We're starting to do more and more videos at Causley, and when we do so, we've noticed that Facebook is showing those videos to more and more people. So if you haven't invested in video, start trying that today. You don't have to do anything that's super highly produced. Just start creating stories, telling people about your business and what's going on there, maybe sharing highlights of your customers, and you'll reach more people than you would have with just photo or written posts. The other side of video that is even more recent is live video. And maybe you've seen a live video on Facebook already, maybe you haven't. For those of you that haven't, it's a way that allows you to record a video directly on Facebook, and it's live. So there's no recording the video and uploading it later once it's produced. You go into Facebook, there's a button to record live video when you do a new post. And as soon as you start recording, Facebook sends a notification out to people who like your page that your business is live on Facebook. They can click that notification and they can watch that video as it's happening. It's great because people are able to see a kind of unpolished, kind of raw, human side of your business. There's not a lot of production that goes into it. There's no special effects or anything like that. It's just someone talking live right then and there. And if video reaches more people, live video on Facebook does very, very well. We're doing about one live video a week ourselves at Causley or on our other brand pages, and we reach a ton of people with live video, far more than we do with any other posts. And not only are we reaching people, but the response rate is really high. People are commenting, they're sharing, they're liking these live posts, and they're just a great way to engage with our audience. So if you haven't done a live video, make sure you do so today. I think you'll really like the results. Number 10 is a little bit more basic. It's to encourage reviews. And it sounds kind of obvious, but it's worth reiterating because, like I mentioned before, if people are discovering your business on Facebook, they only know what they see on Facebook. So if they see strong reviews about your business, that's a great signal for them that you're doing quality work and are having satisfied customers. This is a friend of mine. He runs a auto sales and service shop in New Jersey, and he's got reviews enabled. He's got 4.2 stars for his average review. And if you read through the reviews, they're all really positive. And if I was in New Jersey and I was looking for a place to get my car fixed, this would be a great signal that I should, check out his shop. The last one is something a little newer. It's called messenger codes. And just to provide some context for this, Facebook is promoting its messenger app more and more. They want its messenger app to compete with some other social networks like Snapchat and Twitter as its own kind of standalone experience. So to do that, they have this new tool called messenger codes. And the way they work is you open the Facebook Messenger app on your phone, and there's a button to scan a messenger code. And so if you see it printed or if you see it on a computer screen, you can scan that code with your smartphone, and it will connect you directly to that business's Facebook page and allow you to send them a message. So instead of having to search for that business back in Facebook and then click messages to send them a message, you can do so directly with these messenger codes. They're very recent, and I haven't heard a whole lot about whether they work well or whether they don't work well. But it's something worth trying because it's new, and you might find that it's a great way to get people to engage with your business that they previously hadn't done. So that's about it. I appreciate you listening to our webinar today. Like I said, Matt Sharp is going to join me right now. He's going to spend a few minutes talking to you about Causely and how we help small businesses generate referrals on Facebook by giving back. So I'm going to turn it over to Matt now. And again, if you've got any questions, feel free to email me, or if you've got you should see a chat bar on the right-hand side of your screen. Just be sure to enter your questions there, and I'll answer those as Matt's talking. Thanks again, and hope you guys have a great day.
Hey guys, thanks for being with us today. I'm going to walk you through really quickly kind of what we do, what Causely does, and why we're so awesome. So our goal at Causely is to make businesses generate referrals by giving back, and we do that through a couple of really cool ways. I'll walk you through those here in a second. But before, I want to tell you a little bit about kind of who we are and why we exist. So at Causely, we believe business owners should be able to grow in a way that builds community and gives back. And this is something that started a few years ago when we were building our own businesses, and we had a heart for giving, and we wanted to figure out just some different ways to grow our community and integrate kind of doing good into our DNA and make that something that helps grow the community and helps us give back as well. So who am I? My name is Matt Sharp, and I started some gyms with a buddy of mine a few years ago. I was a detective for 10 years, and that's an interesting picture there. I was a detective for 10 years and just always really enjoyed talking to and or helping people, and that's kind of where the detective and the fitness business came together. And then me and my buddy that founded the fitness businesses together co-founded Causely in 2013. And Causely was originally started to help nonprofits raise money through Facebook. And then we kind of came up with this idea for our own businesses to help us kind of grow in a way that gives back a few years ago. And we've kind of pivoted into this business now. But we co-founded Causely in 2013, and both of us have had several businesses, and we all use Causely as well ourselves. So this is kind of the essence of what we do. So we do that. We help you guys grow by supporting a great cause every time someone checks in on Facebook. And a couple of reasons why that is really, really important for you guys. And I didn't know this before we started working with the nonprofits and really helping them build communities on Facebook, how important like a customer or a client talking about you really is, and especially if you can get them to do that on social media. The reason that's so important is because when somebody checks in or talks about you on social media, hundreds and hundreds of their friends will see that. So on here it says 200. We've seen as high as 600 people will see one Facebook check-in. And what's really cool about the Facebook check-in for the business is that every time somebody checks in on Facebook, it shows not only that they are referring that business. So at the top, Michael Scott, and if you guys are some Office fans, you'll get a lot of these. It's showing that Michael Scott, and if I'm friends with him and I trust him, and he is now creating content on behalf of Scranton Bar and Grill. So he is advertising Scranton Bar and Grill. He's referring that business to me. And if I'm ever interested, there's a bunch of key information that's already in this check-in. It's coming from somebody I trust. It's got a link to that business's Facebook page. So if I've never been there, if I want to check it out, I can click on that link and go straight to that business's home Facebook page. I can also comment and ask Michael, hey, what's the deal with that place? I've heard that it's really cool. And then now there will be a conversation starter where Michael is selling me on going to this business, and that conversation is taking on a social network for hundreds of people to see. But that link to the Facebook page is really key, especially in small businesses that don't have these huge marketing budgets. It's really nice for a friend of a friend to see that and click on it and know exactly where you're at, see your ratings, have your phone number. They can reserve a time if you're a business that has reservations. All of that can happen within a few clicks. It shows your business on the location, and again, you can see the rating. And a quick story about these: we had a business owner that signed up with us, and he had never done any Facebook marketing. He had never done anything on social media. And right after he started the program, he had a lady come in. She was checking things out, and she ended up signing up for a service at his business. And she saw some of the Causley displays up front. And because she saw those, she's like, oh, what is all this? And he's like, oh, it's this program where, every time somebody checks in on Facebook, we provide, I think we're providing coats for kids that month. She's like, we're helping provide coats for kids. And she's like, oh, it's very cool. And she's like, I'll check in. So she already had her phone out because she was paying. And she took a picture of the display because we give businesses displays that show the good they're doing. She took a picture of the display and checked in on Facebook. And he said he didn't really think anything about it. But about 10 or 15 minutes later, the phone rings. And there's a lady on the other line. And she's like, hey, I just saw my friend check in there, and me and my two other friends, and this is the gym. Me and my two other friends were looking for a gym, and we saw that our friend just checked in there, and she just signed up for a membership. And is there any way we could come in and check your place out? And he was like, of course. So the next day, three women came in to the gym, took a tour, talked with him, and ended up signing up. And he called me. He was so excited. He's like, oh, my God, this lady checked in. And the next day, I got 3 of her friends there. And I was like, that's awesome, man. And he's like, the crazy thing is that those three women all lived within 10 minutes of my location. And he said he had been open for about a year and a half. None of those people even knew that he existed. So without that check-in, those women would never have even known that he existed, which is one thing. But the fact that a friend of theirs that they trust the opinion of signed up, that was the thing that kind of put them over the hurdle to come in and check it out. So I always thought that was a very, very cool story. And it just, again, reiterates the power of the Facebook check-in. So we help you guys do that and generate these check-ins with three steps. So I was kind of telling you about some of the stuff that that lady had seen when she went into the business that prompted her to check in. So each month we help your business support a new cause. So we work with the best charities in the world, and we figure out, and we've done this for several years now, we figure out what is the best cause for this month. So you'll see some themes in here, and usually around August, we're always building schools. In October, we'll do something along the lines of breast cancer awareness or support. Every December, we give Christmas gifts to kids that are stuck in the hospital. But we'll work with the best in the world to figure out what is the charity that's going to perform the best, not only period, but what's going to perform the best in each particular month. So you can see, and if you guys look on this display here, you can see some of the charities that we work with. And these are some of the best charities in the world. So each month we help you support a new cause. The reasoning behind that is because we've learned that after about 30 days is the best time to kind of re-energize the clientele with a new cause. And it's not that they don't love supporting the cause from last month. It's just a way to keep it fresh. It's also a way to keep it to give you a chance to brag about the good that you've done in the last month. So there is a finish line each month, and you can say, "Hey guys, look what we did together," and it's very cool each month to be able to say that. So supporting a cause each month helps you do that. Over on the left, you can see these are some of the promotional materials that we give for small businesses. These are dependent on the type of small business. So that gym had a display up front near the counter. And as you can see on that display where it says 390,259 days of prenatal vitamins to mothers, that is what that lady took a picture of when she checked in. So that was the reminder for her. And the cool thing about the displays and the bill presenters you can see there, which are for restaurants, and it keeps the business owner from having to always remember to talk about it. Because he was telling me that when she came in, he had forgotten to talk about the program, and she saw the display, so it reminded her for him. And he's just very busy, and it was nice to have this very visual, very very cool way to message the program to her that he wasn't necessarily responsible for. He didn't have to remember every time, so that was very cool. So on the left is kind of the in-house materials that you get. Those are custom made for whatever type of business it is. And on the right is what we call the content pack. So in the content pack is all the cool digital stuff. So videos for you to share each month, images for you to share on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. And all of these things are done for you each month. You get this pack at the beginning of the month. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, do these things in this order. And it just makes it so easy. You open it up, you spend about 10 minutes, you post everything, and then you're done. We've worked with, at this point, thousands of small business owners to make this as easy as possible, as little of an interruption in their normal daily routine as possible. They get the email, they do everything that we say in the email, and they're done. So we make it as easy as possible for you guys. 3, the customers see those materials in the store. They learn about it online. They hear about it from your staff or you. And because of that, they start checking in. And it was just like the story I told you. She learned about it from the display that was sitting on the counter. And then she asked him, and he gave her some follow-up information, and she ended up checking in. And a lot of the printed materials that we give to you guys, a lot of the everything that we do is very, very visual, and it's meant to capture their attention very, very quickly. So when they check in, just like we said earlier, they're telling hundreds of their friends about your business, and they're supporting something cool with you. And the thing that we liked about this so much is that every time a customer checked in, we were working together with them to do something good. And in the past, for our own businesses, we had donated money, but we didn't make our customers and our clients and the people that love us part of that process. So we would write a check, and we'd be at some dinner, and it was very cool for the business, but we weren't like incorporating the community into that. So one of the things that we really love about Causely and the way we work together is that we do this with the customer, like we do this with the client, and we make them part of the process. And it's just very cool to shift from they give us money and then we give a charity money to like we work together to give a charity donation. So that shift was very, very cool for our own businesses. Business owners love the results, obviously. This is Melissa Wright, owner of Solid Studio. Causely generated more foot traffic than any other marketing tactic I tried. So Melissa is a small business owner that sells it's this very kind of high-end fitness apparel. So her competitors would be somebody like Lululemon. I'm trying to think who else, but mainly Lululemon. And for her, it was very, very tough to get the word out. She had some very, very cool stuff. She had people that loved her. And the second that she was able to get people to start talking about her on social media, it did a lot of the work for her. And it's always cool for Melissa to tell you her story, but as far as people finding out about her, They just don't know her. They don't trust her yet, but they do trust a friend. And if a friend comes in and says, hey, check out this awesome outfit I bought at Sala, they're going to trust that over any other form of advertising that Melissa could ever do. People just trust their friends over everything else. So Melissa is a very, very cool story, and we love working with her. Les May, I love Les May. So Les May is the owner of a place called the Pasta Garage, and it's in Lexington. And for him, he had a cult following for his pasta, and he was supplying pasta for all these restaurants in town. And then at one point, everyone had been asking him over and over and over and over again, Les May, you have to open your own place. Like, you have to open a restaurant. So he opened his own restaurant. And one of the ways that we've helped him get the word out was there was all these people that knew who, and it was called Lexington Pasta. There's all these people that knew about his pasta, but no one knew that he had his own place because they'd only seen his products on the stores in Kroger and Meyer and places like that. So when he had his own restaurant and people started checking in there, it just helped him just explode overnight because people had originally heard of his pasta, but they didn't know that he had his own place. And Pasta Garage is amazing. Our team actually eats there a couple times a month. Chiropractors. So this is Tim Rogers. Chiropractors have been a great fit for us as well. And it's really because chiropractors are very referral driven. And one of the things you've probably seen is a lot of the businesses we work with are very referral driven. They're not necessarily having these like national ad campaigns and then commercials during the Super Bowl. Like what they have done in the past is they're very passionate business owners. Somebody comes in, they have an amazing experience, and they tell a couple of friends. And it's just a slow way for those guys to grow. And especially in this instance, chiropractors, Tim's helped a lot of people feel much, much better. But it's hard for him to compete with everything else to get that word out to their friends. So when somebody comes in, and if you've had, I've seen this with Tim's place, if you've had like some sort of ongoing issue with your back or your knees or something, and somebody is able to help that, and you've been dealing with that for years, that's a life-changing experience, and it just makes your day-to-day life so much better. So Tim was never getting those stories told. And if Tim tells that story, and then you don't know him, you don't necessarily trust him, right? But if one of your friends says, hey, I've been dealing with this pain for years, I went to see this guy, and I feel so much better, it's amazing. And if you see that on Facebook and you trust that person's decision or that person's opinion, and you have your own issue, that is the guy you're going to go to. And so we've helped him grow through the referral system as well. That's why he's smiling. Look at that smile. Every month, Causley generates, wow, we've really grown, 600,000 Facebook check-ins, 100 million friend-to-friend referrals, and $70,000 in donations to great charities. Those are all really big numbers, and it's kind of hard for us when we look at these to figure out how far we've come. There was like 3 of us in a small office not too many years ago. Why are we so effective? So supporting causes is an effective and authentic way of encouraging action. In fact, 83% of, look at that effect. 83% of Americans wish that businesses they patronize would support cause. So this is very, very clear data that people that come to your business wish that you did something. And one of the things that we've realized is that a lot of small businesses are doing stuff. Like they are giving back. They are having fundraisers, and they are donating money, but none of their clients are aware of that. Like no one knows what they're doing. And we hit in one story in particular, we were working with a minor league baseball team here in our hometown. And I remember when we first presented Causley to him, he said, hey, this is what we do. We help, your people market for you and tell a story. And the way we do that is we incentivize them through donations. You guys work together to donate things. And he's like, man, this solves a huge problem for us. And he went on to tell me all of the things that business gives back to. And there was a list of, a dozen things that business has done that were just significant ways of giving back. And I remember telling him, I was like, Andy, there's like, no one knows about that stuff. I'm like, just hearing about that makes me like want to go to the ball game and like eat a hot dog and buy, like, it just makes me want to go to your place and do your stuff. And he's like, well, the issue is we don't want to spend $1,000 to tell people that we gave away $5,000. And he's like, the main thing I like about what you guys do is we do this with the community. So it's very easy for us to talk about it. And for him, it just solved this problem of they didn't know how to tell the story of doing good. And it was because the community wasn't necessarily part of the story. But when you can make the community part of the story, it's a much more effective way of talking about it. So for him, one of the main things was, there's two things. You remind people that there's this very cool minor league baseball stadium, and if you're constantly reminded of that, you're just more likely to go to a game because you probably forget about it. And the fact that they do good, that's even more incentive for you to want to go and support that business. So people want this, and that's why we think it's so effective. So customers love sharing the good they do with a friend. So here's some very, very cool comments. And if you can see, the content that we produce does very, very well. So that video had over 66,000 people reached, 1,000 shares, which in Facebook is a ginormous number. Lots of likes. But what's really cool is if you look at the comments, it's just they're excited about, like they want to be part of this. So when as a business owner, when you see comments like this on your own Facebook page, it's very, very cool, and you love that. So when you can encourage those conversations to happen more and more, it's just better. You get these people that love you talking about you more on social media, and they do a very good job, and they do a much better job than you can do because their friends trust them. So we love seeing stuff like this, and that's why we captured it here for the presentation. We work with, like I said, some of the best nonprofits in the world. Here's a few of them. We have very, very strict standards for who we work with, and the reason is because we are on the hook for every check-in. We have to ensure that everything that we say is going to happen actually happens. So you guys can read the fine print, but it's very tough our standards are very tough to work with, and we do that because we really respect the relationship we have with the customer and with you guys, and we want to make sure that we're doing good in a very transparent way. All cool charities on here. So we believe are the most effective way to generate friend-to-friend referrals, and this was, I remember when we first did this exercise here, it really blew me away on how cost-effective we really were. So if you think about how much it costs for your business to reach 100,000 people, and you apply that to different forms of marketing, this is one of the kind of eye-opening group of numbers that really reiterated to us why we started this, because we had been spending money on direct mail, television, and Facebook ads are way more effective than direct mail and television. But we had been spending money on the ways that other businesses were marketing, and when we ask ourselves why we were doing that, it was basically because that's what everyone had always done. So we just didn't know any better. We just assumed that this thing that worked 5 or 10 years ago would still work just as well today, and it just doesn't. So it's very cool to see like how much it costs to reach 100,000 people with us versus other forms of marketing. I don't have to read the numbers there, but it just gets very, very more expensive, a lot more expensive. So one of the things that's really cool is we show you how many people are seeing your business because of the check-ins. So those are called impressions, and every business we work with has a graph or has a dashboard, and on that dashboard you can go see how many check-ins you're getting, how many people are seeing your business because of the check-ins, and just any of the cool new likes you've gotten, any cool statistics that kind of go along with the program, and numbers that we're hoping to drive kind of up and to the right. So the thing that we want is we want people to check in, and because people check in, their friends see it, so that's impressions. So we want to drive check-ins, we want to drive impressions, and we drive a lot of new likes as well. One of the things we don't capture on here is we end up driving a lot of reviews as well. So we have some very, very small businesses that have 300 and 400 reviews on Facebook, which is unheard of. And the reason is because when somebody checks in for the first time, Facebook will ask them to review the business. So you just capture a lot of that early kind of momentum when somebody checks in and get them to review. So it's very cool. But at the end of the day, like everything is very trackable, and you have a dashboard where you can come check on it anytime. Look at those smiling faces. So Causely, trusted by thousands of businesses. I think we just hit 3,000 businesses a couple weeks ago, which was a big milestone for us. If you guys have any questions or need anything, that is my personal email. That is my cell phone. If you call it or text it, like, that's me. We still operate like a very, very small business. We have a very, very like small and dedicated team. We talk directly to people. No robots here. We want to grow this one relationship at a time, because at the end of the day, like, we are business owners. We are business owners, and we know those struggles, and that's why we created this program. Oh, wow, here's the good stuff. So webinar attendees get a special offer, 1 free month of Causely if you schedule a demo with your customer success team right now. See, that's underlined, so that means it's serious business. So if you guys want to talk, make sure to follow up with us right after. You can chat, you can call us, and we'd love to talk to you guys. So I appreciate your time today, and if you guys have any questions, make sure to let us know. Appreciate it.